Hi, in this video we will cover the interface of c4c. So we will cover the major work centers which we have, then what is the functionality of those. However, we will be covering all these work centers in detail in the later session, but this is to provide an overview of all the work centers which are there in the c4c. So this is the HTML5 interface. So we will start with the Silverlight because that is the one which the developers will be using the most of the time. So let's go to the adapt and launch in the Microsoft Silverlight. So it will open up the c4c in the Silverlight version. So it is asking for the permission. We'll click on continue. It takes some time to open the interface in the Silverlight. So now it is getting opened and we'll be able to see the interface with the red and all these things on our screen. So let it open it completely. Okay, so on the top we have all the work centers which are there. So we will cover one by one what is the use and what is the use of each and every work center here. So first of all we will start with the feed. So now what is a feed? So basically the feed, this work center will show all the updates, all the events like create, assign of ticket, lead, sales order, etc. in a work center. So in this basically the feed allows us to quickly communicate and collaborate with the network. So the feed is where we post the updates to our network and receive the updates from our feed sources. So it can be the information and the people we need to complete the work. In the feed we can post the feed updates, comment on the feed updates, delete the feed updates, and also we can manage the feed sources and the feed settings. As with the other items, we can also search the feed updates, use the filters to view only certain type of updates, flag or tag the feed updates, or we can add them to our favorites. So basically the feed is the place from where we will be doing all these things. After the feed we have the business analytics. So what is business analytics? So if I go to the business analytics work center, so in this we can see the options. So this is the work center which is responsible for create custom reports, design the new data sources, design the key figures, design the KPIs. So when I say the KPI, it is my key performance indicator. So there are different KPIs in any organization. Like if I take the example of a financial firm, so in the financial firm my revenue can be one of my KPI, that is my key performance indicator. So we design all our data sources, all the key figures, the KPIs. So all these things we have to do under the business analytics work center. Similarly, we have the application and the user management. So if I go to the application and the user management, so this work center is responsible for the options like creating the business user, creating the business roles, task distribution, etc. So in this we can see that there are n number of tasks which we can do from this work center. So all the incidents and the service tasks like my incident, service task, user and access management. So we can create the business users, we can create the business roles, the user can be registered in this work center. Similarly, we have the business data consistency, the task distribution, input and output management, then the background jobs, news authoring. So all these things they can be handled in this application and user management work center. So we will be going through the detail of all these tasks, like how we have to do it in the later sessions. After that we have the business configuration. So what is the use of the business configuration here? So if I go to the business configuration, so what all options we have inside it? So this work center is mainly responsible for implementation projects, download and upload the code list. So it is like in the drop down we can see that we have the option of implementation projects. We can create the reports, we can download the code list, we can upload the code list. So all these things, they can be done in the business configuration work center. Similarly, we have the different work centers here. So if I go to the business partners now, so if I go to the business partners, so what all options we have here is that we have the options of account hierarchies. So in the business partners work center, so we can create and edit the business partners like service agents. So here we have the business partners, business partner changes, the service agents, account hierarchies. So we can basically create the new account hierarchy, we can create the new service agent, and we can have the mass change account data as well. So this work center is mainly for handling the service agents and the business partners. After this we have after the business center we have this one is the obsolete, that is the new business obsolete. So we will just skip this one and we will go to the next one, which is service entitlements. So now what is the service entitlement? So in the service entitlement we can create and edit the service levels, that is our SLAs, and the service categories. So in the drop down we can see here that we can define the new service levels, that is the new SLAs. We can determine the service levels, we can create the new service category catalog. All these things can be done under my service entitlements. So if I go to the service entitlement, if I click on here, so I will get all these options available as a quick link to me. So we will be again covering covering like how to create these SLAs, how to create the service categories. So once we will go into the detailed session of the work centers. Similarly, after that we have the organizational management. So in the organization, if I click on the organizational management, so here we can create and edit the organizational structure, the job definitions, the work distribution. So all these things, they can be done in my organizational management. So in the organizational management we can see here that these are the hierarchies, these are the organizational structures which are already created. So we can edit them, we can navigate to any of them, we can go to the navigate actions, and we can define the job definitions, the work distribution. All these things, they can be done from my organizational management. After that we have the products obsolete. So we will, since it is obsolete, so we will not be covering this one, and we will go directly to the customers. So now in the customers we can see the different customers like the account, the contacts, the individual customers, the target groups, the sales intelligence. So all these things, they can be done from this customers tab. So if I go to the customers work center, so we can see here that we have the option of creating the new accounts. We can add the contact details for the customers, we can add the target groups for the customers. So all these things, they can be done under my customers work center. Similarly, we have the people. So under the people work center we can see the employees, the delegates, legacy groups, and the groups. So if I click on the people work center, so here we can get the information of the employees and the what is their legacy group, what is the group. So here we can see all the different employees which are there, what is the job, who is the manager for them, which department they belong to, what is the email ID for them, the phone number, mobile number, the address. So all these things we can check from the people. So all the employees information we can check from the people work center. After that, we have the marketing. So marketing, in the marketing work center, we can perform the marketing activities, like we can create and edit the target groups. Then we have the content, we can manage the campaigns. Then we have the leads, response options, marketing funds, campaign file formats, lead scores, promotions. So all these things we can define in the marketing work center. So if I click on the marketing work center, so we can have the different options inside it. Similarly, now what do you mean by what do you mean by the campaigns here? So why we need the campaigns under the marketing? So my marketing campaigns will enable us to plan, create and execute the campaigns. With this solution, we can create either the email campaigns directly out of the system, or we can create a campaign with a file export where we can let an external agency execute the campaign with the required data for phone call or the letter campaigns. So to start a campaign, we need to create first of all a target group where we add the members such as contacts, individual customers, existing target groups or the accounts. But we can also import a CSV file, or we can export a report and add it to a target group. So with the target group, then we can create a campaign and we execute it. So basically, for creating a campaign, we must need a target group. Then we can have the email campaigns. So if we want to send out the emails directly out of the system, we need to create an HTML file on our machine where we specify how the email should look like. There we can also insert the placeholders for the personalization, and we can enable the parts of for editing. So this keeps the look and feel of the outgoing email stable, and we are only able to edit the required information. So this is how we can define the email campaigns under the marketing. After that, what are the target groups? So the target groups are used to segment our market and to target the right customers or the prospects for each campaign. So we create the target groups with the members from our existing customer and prospect the database or from the tickets. So if we have the service features enabled for our solution, we can use an email blast to send the mass emails to a target group. A subset of the campaign tracking option is also available for the email blast. So this is how we can use the campaigns and the target groups. So after that, we have the leads inside it. So now what is a lead? So basically, my lead like we have, if we go under the sales leads or the marketing leads, so it depending upon the authorizations we have been assigned, we can create the leads to record the raw data that is derived from the campaigns, trade shows and other marketing activities. So we can also edit the leads and convert the leads to follow-on items. So these items can be the opportunities, it can be the accounts or the contacts to derive the sales activity. So we can also perform the optional actions, like we can specify the source and campaign of the leads. We can classify the leads according to a particular interest. We can qualify the leads by applicable levels, like it can be the cold, warm, hot. So we will be covering all these things in more detail when go into the detailed section about the leads. After that, we have the lead scores. So now what are the lead scores? So in the lead scores view of the marketing work center, we can configure engagement scores for the corresponding consumer behavior patterns and define the follow-up actions accordingly. So this is to ensure that the sales teams focus on the most promising leads. For example, if an engagement score exceeds 70, then a lead qualification level of hot can be defined by marketing operation user. So the engagement scores are a dimension of the lead score concept that reflects the behavior of the customers and prospects in relation to whether they clicked a link, opened an email, submitted a form, and so on. So the engagement score is calculated based on the marketing interactions between your company and the customer. For example, if we started an email campaign, the system can analyze whether the customer has clicked on the hyperlinks in the sent out email, responded by the email to your campaign, or unsubscribed for the information by the email. So based on these interactions, the score increases or decreases. So this is basically my lead score. So the lead score are only available if we have the system administrator under the marketing work center. So these are the things which we have, these are the important things which we have under the marketing. After that, let's move to the sales work center. So now what is my sales work center? What all I can do inside it? So if I go to my sales work center, so under the sales work center, we can perform the sales activities. So my sales activities, it can be my sales leads, then we can have the leads, we can have the deal registration, we can have the opportunities, we can define the sales codes, sales orders, forecast, then the forecast administration can be done. Similarly, we can have the pipeline simulation, territories, we can have the realignment run, we can have the sales target planning. So all these things, they can be done under the sales. So now let's see the details of few of them, like what is the use of them. So first of all, here we will start up with the leads. So first of all, we have the leads inside it. So it is similar to the leads we discussed under the marketing. So in this, depending upon the authorization we have been assigned, we can create the leads to record the raw data that is derived from the campaigns, trade shows, and other marketing activities. So this is similar to my leads under my marketing. After that, we can also perform the other actions like specify the source and campaign of the lead. We can classify the leads according to a particular interest. We can qualify the leads by application level. So all these things can be done under the leads. After that, we have the sales lead. So what do you mean by the sales lead here? So under the sales and the sales lead, we can manage our sales leads, maintain the relationships with our customers and the prospects, and convert the sales lead to the opportunities. So the sales leads are the starting point for the future sales. Sales leads are created, qualified, and can be assigned to the sales staff automatically using the rules created by the administrator. So once the sales lead has been qualified, we can accept or decline that lead. We can also convert the sales lead once they have been qualified to opportunities. To derive the sales activity, we can perform the optional actions like specify the source and campaign of the sales lead. We can classify the sales lead according to a particular interest. We can qualify the sales lead by applicable levels like the cold, warm, or hot. We can track and analyze the success of our sales lead over a specified time frame. We can add the team members to the marketing team for the sales lead. We can add products to the sales lead. We can add context to the sales lead. So all these things, they can be done under my sales lead section. After that, we have opportunities. So now what is an opportunity? So opportunities, they represent the potential sales. So we can display and edit the existing opportunities and create the new one. So we can also edit the opportunities that have been converted from the leads and assign the products to the opportunities and the employees to opportunity sales team. So if I click on the opportunities here, so under this we can create the opportunities. So here we can see all the existing opportunities which are there. After that we can if we want to create the new one, we can click on this new to create the new opportunity. So if I click on the new, so here we can provide the detail for the new opportunity like the document type, name, account, primary contact detail, priority, source. So all these things we will be discussing in detail in the later sections. So for now we can just go to the overview of what an opportunity is. After that we have the sales order, we have the so if I click on the sales quotes and the sales order, so if I go to the sales quotes, so basically here we can like if I click on the sales order, so sales quote, sorry, so in the sales quotes if I click on the new, I can define the new sales quotes. So the content of the link to site and any other further is like basically like, let's say if I click on the new quote, so in the new quote we can define the account, we can define the primary contact, the external references, then the payment terms. So all these things we can define in a sales quote. So a competitive and the successful sales professional knows benefits of an effective quote management system. So we can enter the desired product and we can submit the quote to the customer. So this is very important, the sales quote processing, this is the very important part of it. Now the sales quote processing is used to offer the products to the customers according to the specific terms with the fixed conditions. The seller is bound by the sales quote for a specific period of time. The sales quote is usually created by a sales representative of the company. So we are like the sales quote processing is very important task that needs to be done whenever we are creating the sales quote. So we have to be very careful, when we are defining the sales quote. So after that we have the sales orders. Similarly, if I go to the sales again, if I click on the sales order, so the sales orders, they can be created and processed in cloud for customer. So we can synchronize these sales orders with the external system to update them with the pricing and the other product details. So similar way we can click on the new. So in the if we click on the new sales order, we can enter all the information about that particular sales order. So a detailed order history is displayed in the launch screen for the sales order. We can use the standard features for the search, advanced search, sorting, filtering to organize the display of the sales order. Similarly, we have the creating and processing of the sales order. So we can use the simulate feature in the sales order to simulate the order in the external system. So all these we will be discussing again in detail in the later sections. After that we have, if I go to the sales, so we have the forecast under this. So now what do you mean by the forecast? So on the forecast tab, the sales representatives and the sales managers, they can create the forecast in multiple dimensions, including the product and the product category on the basis of accounts, opportunities, employees and the sales organization. So let's say if I click on this forecast. So now in the forecast, if I click on the new forecast, so here I can define in the name, the sales unit, the honor, currency, time, level and the source. So all these things we can define under the forecast. So after that, if I go back to the main menu, so inside that we have the territories. So now what do you mean by the territories? If I click on the territories here, so we provided that the territory management is active in our solution. The sales administrators, they can create the sales territories and organize them into the hierarchies, which are used to delegate the responsibility for each sales territory to the appropriate sales representative. So in this we can have, in the general we can see the name, the sales territory ID, the parent and the employer responsible for that. Similarly, if I go to the territory team, so in this we can see the party role, we can see the employee ID, name and the email ID. Now similarly after that we have the sales target planning. So if I go to the sales target planning, so sales planning is activated. The prerequisite of this is that it has to be activated in your system. So basically, what do you mean by this? So the planning for our business involves three different elements, that is my strategic planning, my financial planning and the operational planning. So while the strategic planning is a high level management task and therefore that takes place outside of the system, financial and operational planning are supported by tools and the applications that have been designed to guide and support us in the mastering our company's planning and the budgeting task. So the sales planning offers a solution that enables us to define and monitor the targets and revenues, and also makes it easy to create the new plans. So now if we go to the next work center, that is my activities. So what all we can do under the activities here? So in the activities work center, we can perform the activities like appointments, emails, phone calls, tasks, email blast, store events, time entry, in-store activities. We can have the messagings as well. So if I click on the activities here and if I go to any one of them, so in the appointments we can create the new appointments. So if I go to the new, so here from here we can define the new appointments. Also in the new appointments we have to enter the subject, we have to enter the account, the primary contact, location, whether it will be a all day event or not. If not, then what will be the start time, the end time, then what is the category, whether it's a, like in the drop down we can define it like whether it's a order, workshop, telephone call. Similarly we can define the priority of it. So all these things we can define from the activities. Similarly we can have the emails, phone calls, task. So if I go to the emails, so we can have, similarly we can define all these things under my activities tab. After the activity, let's go to the another tab, which is my analysis. So analysis is again, it's a work center. So here we can access all the reports whichever we have. So if I go to the analysis, so we can have the sales overview, we can see the pipeline, the win and loss, the sales performance, then the pipeline sourcing, forecast. So all these things we can do under the analysis. So if I go here, like right now in the screen we can see here that we have the sales summary for the current year. Similarly we have the sales by product category. Similarly we can have the different sales overview added under the analysis. So basically from here we can access all the reports, like what is the pipeline forecast for the current year, what is the revenue analysis, then the revenue trend, the sales revenue. All these things we can access from the analysis tab. And how we need to create these reports, that we will be discussing in the later sessions. After that we have the competitors work center. So in the competitors, we can maintain the information regarding the competitor product. So if I go here, so we can see that we have all these competitors for my product. So we have the name, we have the city, we have the website for them, we have the classification, like whether it's a medium threat, big threat, low threat, and we can have the status of it. So in all these information about the competitors that can be defined under my competitor work center. After that, we have the products. So now here we can create, edit, view of the products. We can do the product administration. We can create and edit the product categories, product list, price list, discount list, registered products, warranties. So all these things, they can be defined from my products. So if I go to the products here, so I have the products administration, product list, price list. So all these things we can define from the this. So right now it is showing the product view, in which I can see that what is the name of my product, what ID of it, what is the category of it, then what is the unit of measure for it. So here you can see that we have the category as apparel. So for the jackets, we have the category as apparel. Similarly, we can see here that for the commercial series refrigerator, we have the category as appliance. So this will show me all the different options which we have for the products. Now let's go to the next work center, which is my library. Now if I go to the library, so here we can share any knowledge base article that we think it may be useful for the other users. So it's the place where we can share any useful article, document for reference of anyone, and any user can access these documents. So if I go here to the library, I can share all the files like we can share the training manuals, we can share anything which we want to share with other users. So this is the place from where we share the things with other users in the system. After that, we have the service control center. So now what is service control center? So in this we can see all the order that we have placed to SAP, and can place the new order like buying of the new user licenses. So we can also view the maintenance schedule of the system, like the downtime, etc. from here. So if I go to the service control center, so it is basically, it will provide us the information about the SAP only. So like what all orders we have placed, if it is a new orders, we can do it from here. So it is mainly to interact with the SAP. After this obsolete, so we'll just skip it and we'll go to directly to the ECC search. So what is my ECC search? So here we can search the sales order in the backend system SAP ECC. So we can search any sales order, we can search the sales order items from the ECC search. So it will basically search my orders in my backend system, that is my ECC system, that is my ERP system. To the offers. So here we maintain the offers. So if I go to the offer, so I can see the list of offers which are there. If there are any, they are defined in the work center. So we can see all those offers here. So right now we do not have any in the system, that's why it is showing as none. Similarly, then we have the stores. So in the stores we can maintain the details about the stores and the team calendar. So we can, if we go here, we have the option of stores and the team calendar. So from here we can maintain the stores and the team calendar information. After that we have this team calendar again. So this team calendar is similar to the stores and the team calendar only. Then we have the utilities. Now in the utilities we can view the data for the business agreement, the service location, and the customer search. So if I click on the utilities here, So here we can do a customer search, we can do the business agreement, we can do the service location. That we will be covering in the session later on. Then we have the activity planner. So here we have the plans and routing rules. So if I click on the activity planner, so here we can see the different plans which are there and the routing rules for them. Okay. After that, the administration. So administrator, this is a very important book center only available to the admin user. So most of the customization in C4C is done by this work center only. So this work center is available in the Silverlight view only. So we cannot see it in the HTML5 view. It has many customizations like the service and the social, sales and the marketing settings, mashup services, workflows, user management, approval processes, etc. So all things they can be done from my administrator work center. After that, we have the data cleanse. So here we can perform the data processes. So for the data cleanse work center here. So in this work center, we do the data cleansing. That is like if we want to the customer merge, any kind of data cleansing we can do in this work center. After that, we have the partners. So in the partners, we can view the partners, partner contacts, partner applications. So all these things they can be managed under the partners. So this is mainly to manage the data for the partners we have. So here we can see the different partners. So we can see the name, we can see the status, the country they belong to, city they belong to, similarly what is the state and the contact for them. After that, we have the surveys. So here we can maintain the surveys. So if I click on the surveys here, so always they can be maintained under surveys work center. So we can see the name of the survey, the status of it, after that the valid to and from date, the category, then who has created them, the date when they are created, the change date. So all these things about the surveys can be handled in the surveys work center. After that, we have the visits. So if I go to the visits, so in the visits we can perform the visit planner, tours, and we can have the routes. So if I click on the visits, so it will so here I can see the visit planner, and I can maintain the visits, and I can maintain the routes and the tours. Similarly, we have this one, the beta administration. So this we will just leave. That we will be covering later on. After that, we have the service. This is also again the very important tab for the service agents. So here we can view the tickets, the work tickets, the queues, and all other information. So if I click on the service here, so this tab will be mainly used by the service agents because they will be getting all the information about the tickets they have in this tab, in this work center. So here we can see all the tickets information, all queues, all the tickets, everything we manage from the service work center. Then we have the installed base. So if we just scroll a bit, so here we have the installed base. So my installed base has all the information regarding that is installed at customer end, like make, serial number, model, warranty, all these things it can be handled from the installed base work center. Similarly, we have the resource schedule. So if we go here, so my resource scheduler, we can maintain the resource scheduler like the roster of the employees. So all these things they can be managed on my resource schedule. So this is basically to provide prop schedule for a resource. So it can be a roster. We can create the rosters under this. All these things can be done from here. After that, we have the time recording. So in this work center, we can maintain the time entries and the time reports. so can measure the working time of the service agent on a particular task. So this is basically to record the time a particular agent has spent on a particular task. After that, we have the partner development. So the partner development, here we give the authorization to the users to perform the SDK operations, that is my software development kit operations. So if I click on the partner development tab, so in this tab we will be in this work center, we will give the authorizations. After that, we have the data integration. So this data integration, in this data integration work center, we will be basically we will have these options of material replication request, complete employee master data, then we can have the business role replication. So all these things, they can be done from my data integration work center. Similarly, we have the bonus plans. So we have the bonus plans at last. So in this we can view the bonus plans here. So like, what is my bonus plan ID, what is the start date, what is the end date, to which employee we have to give it, then what is the bonus rate. So all these things we can define in the bonus plan work center. So this is all about the different work centers introduction which we have in the c4c. So going further in this session, we will going further in the later sessions, so we will be covering the task which we have just discussed as an overview in detail, like how we can create all these in the system. So thank you.